Europe is facing a wheat supply squeeze, and it could eventually hit consumers. Extreme heat and drought are damaging crops, while wars are disrupting energy, fertiliser and grain trade. Oxford Economics forecasts global food prices to rise 11.8% in 2026, with wheat among the commodities facing the strongest pressure. Why does wheat matter so much? Wheat is a basic ingredient in bread, pasta, biscuits, and breakfast cereals. Oxford Economics expects wheat prices to rise 36% year-on-year to $6.92 a bushel in the third quarter of 2026. A commodity price increase does not translate directly into the same percentage increase at supermarkets, but sustained higher wheat costs can feed into processed food prices. Europe's harvest forecast is already being cut. Coceral reduced its combined EU27 and UK grain harvest forecast to 286.6 million tonnes, down from 295.5 million tonnes and significantly below the 310 million tonnes harvested in 2025. Germany is also expected to see a 7% decline, with production forecast at 41.9 million tonnes, according to AFP, citing the German Farmers Association. Heat and drought are only half the problem. Farmers are also facing higher production costs. Oxford Economics says global diesel prices rose 36% year-on-year in July, partly because of disruption around the Strait of Hormuz. Fertiliser prices are forecast to increase 22% this year. For wheat producers, that means weaker harvest conditions, alongside more expensive fuel and inputs. The war in Ukraine adds another supply risk. Russia and Ukraine together account for just under 30% of global wheat exports. Attacks on ports, loading terminals and ships, alongside disruption to Black Sea and Sea of Azov exports, could affect 86 million tonnes of annual grain export capacity, according to Oxford Economics, almost 17% of global cereal exports. When could this reach consumers? Fresh fruit and vegetables can respond quickly, with Oxford Economics expecting price effects within 2 to 3 months. Processed products, such as bread and pasta, usually take longer because grain must be harvested, processed, and incorporated into food production. The strongest consumer impact could therefore emerge 6 to 9 months later, potentially between February and May 2027. And there are still risks ahead. Agricultural commodities. Economist Jed Cartledge of Oxford Economics says the shock could be more severe than currently forecast because the full impact of Black Sea attacks is still emerging. A strong El Niño could also threaten crops beyond Europe. Higher wheat prices may make alternative export routes economically viable, potentially easing some supply pressure.